Robert Downey Jr. was going to play Victor Von Doom in that Tim Story Fantastic Four movie. So I've seen all over the comment section and in the inbox at the AskColtonNow at gmail.com inbox, a few mentions on Twitter as well. This picture of the statue of Victor Von Doom from the Tim Story 2005, I believe, Fantastic Four movie, and how the statue from that movie looks a lot like Robert Downey Jr. That's the claim. And just looking at it, I mean, yeah, it does look like Robert Downey Jr. Now, before you get carried away or thinking that I'm saying something I'm not saying, just hear me out. Of course, we know that Julian McMahon, who recently passed away, actually, so rest in peace to him. A very talented actor, and I thought he was a really good Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom. We know that he, of course, played Dr. Doom in that movie. Now, here's a little fun fact for you that really doesn't get talked about enough, and not to toot my own horn, really wasn't getting talked about much until I did this video here talking about kind of defending my position that this plan for Robert Downey Jr. to play Dr. Doom has been something that's been in the works for a really long time. It wasn't just this last minute Hail Mary, oh, Jonathan Majors, he's having these legal troubles, the Kane character's not working out. I know, let's do Dr. Doom, and oh, we'll have Robert Downey Jr. play him. A lot of people think that that's how that went down. It's not. I can tell you, simply from a like production standpoint, how the movie industry works, they did not just randomly like go, okay, Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom, got it, boom. We've heard in interviews with Feige and the Russos talking about how this idea of RDJ playing Doom, that's something they'd been kicking around for a while. And I said that I think it's possible that they were even kicking that idea around of bringing RDJ back as Doom before they even made Endgame or during the midst of making Endgame. I've said recently that I think that Avengers Secret Wars always had the plan of bringing Dr. Doom in, because how do you do Secret Wars without Dr. Doom, honestly? So I think they've always had the plan to bring Doom in for Secret Wars, and that they've always had, and when I say always, I mean for a while, like even perhaps back around the Endgame time, had the plan that perhaps RDJ would be the one to play Dr. Doom in Secret Wars. What was the last minute change was, okay, let's pivot. Let's change Kang Dynasty a little bit. Let's take the Kang character out and bring Robert in earlier, announce to everyone that he is playing Dr. Doom, and have really the villain of Avengers Doomsday. Yes, it's going to be Dr. Doom, but really just the events, the end of the world itself, the end of the multiverse, the Doomsday for the multiverse. That will be the true, like, villain of the movie, that the multiverse is ending, which was the same case for what Kang Dynasty would be. Now all they really have to swap out is Kang with Doom, and probably a lot of the Kang variants that we were going to see throughout that movie, fighting our heroes at different places at once. Those are probably now going to be swapped out by Doombots, or we've heard rumors about Doom has like a team of like masked individuals. It's not sure that if they're variants or Doombots or whatever. Anyway, I'm getting really off track. But anyway, I tell you all this to say that RDJ playing Doom, that's something that's been in the works for a while. And I think that could be the potential answer as to why this statue that we are seeing of Doom in the Tim Story Fantastic Four kind of looks like RDJ. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that's why, because look, if you look at it, yeah, it looks like Robert Downey Jr. But it doesn't not look like Julian McMahon. So it could just be that, we're seeing what we want to see. We're seeing that, oh, that does look like Robert Downey Jr. But before that, did we really question whether or not it looked like Julian McMahon? Now, this might be a false memory of mine. Totally could be. I feel like I do remember the last time I watched that movie, not thinking that it looked like Robert Downey Jr., but thinking like, that really doesn't look like the guy. So I'm wondering if it's possible that, because, a lot of prep work goes into making like the stuff for the set, and something like that statue was probably made really in advance of actual filming taking place. They started making that statue likely when the script was completed and they had script lock. The same is true for a lot of toys. You'll see like the toys get put in early production, and sometimes certain toys will look different. They'll have different costumes and stuff like that. Maybe the faces won't even look right sometimes. I'm trying to think of a specific example. Nothing's coming to mind, but you'll see with toys that things sometimes look different because they were based on the script, not the actual movie. So I'm wondering if they made this statue at the time when it was really looking like Robert Downey Jr. was going to play Doctor Doom in that movie, which, if I didn't mention that, yes, Robert Downey Jr. was going to play Victor Von Doom in that Tim Story Fantastic Four movie. That ultimately didn't happen, and I don't know that he was never like officially cast, and then they removed him from the role and cast Julian McMahon. But it it has been heavily like reported that he was like really in talks for the role. Like it was getting close. He was never officially cast, but it got close. But I'm wondering if perhaps it did get like super close to everybody thinking like, okay, yeah, we still have to, cross some T's and dot some I's, but Robert Downey Jr. is who we want for Victor Von Doom. I'm wondering if that statue was made to look like Robert Downey Jr. And then they were like, oh, well, that's not who we're casting. Oh, well. Or perhaps it could be that they had a certain look in mind, and it was this same kind of look that, this general look that Julian McMahon has, that Robert Downey Jr. has. If you do like a macro view of like various like faces, and when you get down to that certain point of casting, you will notice that actors maybe like tend to favor because they really have like a certain thing in mind for that character. So maybe they like made the statue kind of like vague, like, oh, it kind of looks like Robert, but maybe it kind of looks like just the general idea if we're looking to cast. Oh, maybe we're also still kind of looking at Julian, but we need to start getting this stuff made before we finally do the final casting and move on to production. I'm not going to act like I'm a super expert in how all that goes down, but I do think it's certainly possible that the statue looks that way because Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to play him and then they changed it. I have heavily researched Robert Downey Jr.'s involvement in that casting process for Fantastic Four, and there's just not a lot about it that I can find because I've wanted to do more videos talking about it and like, deep diving on how into the character he got, because Robert Downey Jr. does have a deep interest in the character of Doctor Doom, and he has for a while. So I'm wondering if he like was really, really wanting to play that role, and just because of his own personal things going on at the time, it just wasn't a right fit, and maybe it kind of got pulled out from under him. But maybe it was looking like he was really going to get it. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. It could just be us seeing what we want to see, and we're seeing in that vague statue Robert Downey Jr. But it would be kind of cool if we find out later, yeah, or Feige says, yeah, we've wanted him to play Doom going all the way back to that Tim Story Fantastic Four movie. And now we're finally getting to make that happen. And if we learn that, hey, yeah, that statue, yeah, it looks like him for a reason. That would be kind of cool. But let me know your thoughts and theories on all of that down in the comments below. I thought it was a pretty neat little thing that we should bring up.